Hi everybody, hope everyone's doing well, having a good day wherever you are in the world. It was very cold here overnight, so my enthusiasm for spring may have actually been enthusiasm for what we call a fake spring. Anyhow, there's news to report about Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte has withdrawn from his scheduled fight with Joe Joyce that was due to take place at the Co-op Arena in Manchester, England on April the 5th of this year. It's a card that's put on by Frank Warren and contains David Adelaide and Jamie TKV, Mark Chamberlain, Lawrence Okoli, Richard Riakporhe. Good card, actually. A lot of fighters haven't yet been announced. I will say that BoxRec is still showing that the Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce fight is going ahead. But TalkSport, Hatman and others have been reporting about the withdrawal of Dillian Whyte. And there's been speculation, of course. You know, whenever a fighter withdraws, people start being suspicious, right? Oh, why? I'm no different. Look at the videos I've put out about Daniel Dubois, withdrawing from the Joe Parker fight. I will say that nothing can stop gossip other than transparency. You shine a light and you be clear, and then all the, speculation kind of evaporates. The reports I saw were speculating that Dillian Whyte had problems getting a British Border Control license, that, there's always the spectre of a test, failure, especially, to be honest, Dillian Whyte has form for that, right? And when people aren't clear about the injury or the infection or whatever the reason is, as fans, we'll try and fill in the gaps. In this case, I'm pleased to say that the most recent reports I read from the UK press are much more clear. Dillian Whyte is saying that during a strength and conditioning training session, he got his fingers got caught between two plates, and that he cut his finger down to the bone and did some damage to the nerves. Now, if that is factually accurate, and I've got no reason to dispute that the veracity of this, then that would mean, given that it's March the 5th or something, I lose track of the days, I'm sorry, March the 4th, since it's March the 4th, just over a month away for the fight, such an injury, that's probably, you're not going to get that better in time to complete your camp and do your training. So hopefully that is the case and it's nothing nefarious or suspicious. And then hopefully Dillian Whyte can recover fully so that maybe this fight with Joe Joyce can be postponed, or at least Dillian Whyte can then continue his career, because that would be a very legitimate reason for withdrawing from a fight. And I want to go back to something I've been beating the drum about with Dubois. Had there been transparency, none of us would have been speculating and gossiping. But there wasn't, and so we are. And, the absence of a fighter coming out and saying anything fuels gossip even more. But in this case, Dillian Whyte appears to have a highly, legitimate and meaningful injury that would cause him to withdraw from a fight. The same newspaper was reporting that Queensberry are looking for a replacement fighter for Joe Joyce. As you know, because I've done a couple of videos on the subject, I would really like Joe Joyce to retire. But if Joe Joyce is adamant and he wants to continue his career, then what can you do, right? So hopefully they find a replacement fighter, a suitable replacement fighter, so that Joe Joyce hasn't expended all his money on training, etc., only to have no paycheck at the end of it. I mean, if he doesn't have an opponent, he doesn't get paid, therefore it's more money down the drain. So hopefully they find somebody to fight against Joe Joyce. I'm not sure who, offhand, I mean, his last fight was with Chisora, which he lost, though then when Chisora went on to beat Wallin, it's sort of, his loss against Chisora is actually aging quite well in a way. And prior to Chisora, he fought Cash Ali. I can't think of anybody offhand that I would like to see Joe Joyce in with. And also Wallin type, somebody who's not a killer puncher, and somebody who Joe Joyce can, because we know Joe Joyce's style of defense is to stop punches with his head, right? I don't want to see Joe Joyce in with somebody that's dangerous and a killer, but somebody sort of roughly his level, I suppose. Hopefully they can find somebody, and hopefully that Dillian Whyte can recover and continue his career. It wouldn't be a bad idea to postpone it, to be perfectly honest. The card, they were the headline on the card according to BoxRec, but maybe Okoli and Riakporhe could be the headline. Adelaide could be the headline. I'm not sure. I'm just reading it off BoxRec. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is like the finalized headline. But yeah, there we go. There's the news, and I'm happy to say that there is a legitimate injury being spoken about, and that we don't have to go down the rabbit's hole of worrying and wondering about whether or not there's been, issues to do with tests and stuff like that. Okie dokie, that's all I've got for the moment. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.